Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us on this Saturday morning call. I'm very excited to get this series going. This is our second week, and Catherine and I are excited. We have a couple guys on the line with us today, so we'll be kind of talking about how couples can work this business together, which is really exciting. Catherine, how are you? Ooh, are you there? You might just have to hit *6.
Oh, I guess I was muted too. Oh man, we're doing great, and I'm just really excited because I get to spend this time with Joel right now, and the kids are with us, and we're driving across Pennsylvania to go to a friend's wedding. But that means we get to kind of work the business along the way, and we've been talking about just some strategies and what our goals are and where we think we need to improve or what we can be doing. And it's just been really, really good that we have that now,
I love it. I love it. And do you want to introduce yourself for those who don't know you on the call?
I absolutely would love to. My name is Catherine McDonald, and I live in a small town called Allegan, Michigan, and I am a diamond right now. I've been with the business for about 18 months. A little bit more than 18 months now. I keep saying 18 months.
Awesome. And I'm Katie Mess, for those who don't know me. I'm a double diamond from Wantage, New Jersey, and I've been with the business for 2 years now. It was 2 years this past month, so we're very excited about that. Catherine, do you want to just talk a little bit about, I know Joel is kind of busy, and then we'll kind of get this rolling, but do you want to talk about how you two work the business together? Because from my understanding, you guys kind of tag team, right?
Yes, and we have a ton coming up, so if I bleep out, you're going to have to pick up.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, man. Yes, Joel and I, and actually Joel encouraged me to join It Works. I had been doing direct sales with a couple of other companies in the past. I tried some other things and just didn't really see a lot of extra income coming in. But when we sat down with Nathan and Cammie Dempsey and talked about It Works and the compensation plan and the benefit of the product that we thought would be great for our family, Joel looked at me and said, I think you need to do this. And it really kind of took me back because I wasn't anticipating at all that he would encourage me to sell it. I thought that for sure he would want me on the product because of my health issues. So it all started with him encouraging me to get involved with the business and him really seeing the big picture right away. And, he had a hard time understanding what his role was going to be because when you are in direct sales, it's so much of the woman going to a party and holding a party and, husbands, you don't really see them a part of those businesses. And so he didn't really know what his role was going to look like. So we joined in September, and by that January when we went to conference, he really just had to take in the information he was hearing from the men and what they were doing in their businesses. And we spent a lot of time just saying, okay, but what are your strengths? And Joel is amazing at anything that has to do with being on the computer. He developed a website for us, which isn't necessary, but that's a skill that he has, and so we've taken advantage of it. He, can definitely keep things in line for me as far as, keeping things posted on our Facebook page and those types of things. And he has a really good blog that he started. And that was another skill that we didn't necessarily know that he would become really, really good at because we'd never done blogging before. It was something like, let's try this. And it started with him writing a couple things and I'd write a couple things. But his stuff just kept getting so good that it's kind of become his thing, that he blogs about our business and specifically for men and how men can get involved with their wives in this business. So that's been really, really cool, and it's been great for him to be able to be an encouragement to other men and show them how they can be supportive to their wives in this business. So, yeah, that's that's really, besides him, just encouraging, and he's just amazing at that and picking up the extra pieces at home and helping to keep those things together. And we have 4 kids, so obviously if I'm busy doing things, somebody has to help out on the other end, and he never hesitates to do those things.
Wow, I love it. I love that, and I love that. Like, even if just the involvement is just helping out at home, that you don't realize how much that does help. So then you can get out in the field and you can go talk to people, and even him being behind the computer, sometimes that can take up a big chunk of our day as well. So it's great that you have that extra person being able to manage all of that. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. What about you guys? What is the role that Dan plays with you?
Well, I actually have him on the call. So, Dan, are you here? You might have to hit *6.
Am I here now?
Yes, you're there. Hi, Dan. Dan
Good
is my fiance. So, Dan, do you want to talk a little bit about, what you do around here for our business?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because, Katie, you've told me that Joel and I are pretty similar, and you guys pretty much covered all the bases of what I do, too. I built Katie a website, whether or not she wanted it, and that's taken up a lot of what I do. We have a blog on there, too. A lot of times I'll just do things around the house. I'll clean up the dishes, I'll take care of the dog, just little things that allows Katie to go out and work the business.
And those are the things that are so important because we can't do this alone. As family, it's just so great to have that partner, that person who can help be that assistant. None of us are to that level yet of hiring in that assistant. So it's so important for that good friend or that spouse, or to have that person who can come alongside and help you be successful in your business.
Absolutely. And I think, too, it's funny kind of how we got started, because when I got started, I heard about this from a family member. I brought it to Dan, obviously, and I kind of told him a little bit about the product, and he obviously saw my results, so he saw that it worked. And Dan, did you I don't want to put words in your mouth, but how did you feel about me getting started right away?
I didn't really care, to be honest. It just I guess that sounds a little funny, but it just didn't really faze me at all. I worked in retail. You worked in retail at the time too, and we were both so busy. It just didn't really sway me one way or another. It wasn't until we went down to a green carpet. Actually, it was our first event, just a couple months after Katie signed up, that I actually started to really pay attention. We saw a lot of people go up on stage and get their promotions, and they were just kind of telling their stories, and it was just really interesting to see some of the other people that were involved and how they do things and the money that they can make. That kind of got my ears to perk up a little bit.
It's so true. We hear a lot of men, their ears perk up when they start hearing about the promotions, and a lot of women will say, well, as soon as there was that comma in my paycheck, he was interested in being a part of the business with me.
I love it. I know. Of course, just talk money with a guy, and it's very interesting how all of a sudden they get interested in what we're doing. So I definitely think along the way that has helped as well. So thank you, Dan. I really appreciate you being on the call, too, and thank you, Catherine, for sharing a little bit about, what Joel's doing as far as your business. I'm excited. We have some guests on with us today.
I can't wait to meet them.
Oh, my goodness. They are awesome. I love them. Liz and John Enter from Nicollet, Minnesota, I believe, right? Are you guys there? Can I mute everybody? *6, guys.
Hey, guys. Thanks, and thanks for having us on the call, Katie and company, and Catherine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and let us know a little bit about how you got started and kind of what life looks like now with It Works for you guys.
Okay, well, I'm John Enter, currently double diamond and let's see, diamond good bonus winner and double diamond good bonus earner.
And I'm Liz Enter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And this is Liz Enter, John's wife. And I hit the triple
Good
this last, the what was it, 25. So $50,000 next bonus last quarter, which was really a huge blessing and awesome team that we have. It's an incredible team that really, really wanted to go somewhere, and we did too, so we all ran together. So it was really, really easy that way. But anyways, a little bit about ourselves. We're from Nicollet, Minnesota, and I was a former teacher of Lutheran schools. And John, go ahead.
And I'm a former, I have a few things on my list. I was a farmer. I still hold a building license, and I've done various other things in my lifetime, car sales, and so I'm kind of well-rounded.
Yeah, and we kind of came into this about 19 months ago, and I just saw the awesome wrap, discovered it on Facebook by Katie's mom, Kim Haber, who's our upline from New Jersey. And we were in a previous direct sales company together, and so I knew of her integrity, knew of her Christ-centeredness, which is super, super important to me, and her great leadership, and her success with the previous company. So I knew she was a business-minded woman who had good business sense and was going to go somewhere with whatever she did. And so I contacted her and asked if, really in the beginning it was just more for me to take care of my health, because I was over 60 pounds. I'd had 3 kids, C-sections. I just was unhappy and looking for a way to just try to get myself back first. And so I first contacted her for that. And then after about the second wrap, I really saw a difference. And I thought, I guess I could maybe just try to share this then. If it's helping me, it probably can help a lot of women and men. So that's where it kind of really unraveled there. And I really didn't talk about the business much at first. I was really more interested in just sharing what the products did. And so I was able to grab that awesome 60 loyal customer bonus about 3.5, 4 months in. And, I thought, wow, I'm sitting pretty good. This looks pretty awesome, extra $600. And, I don't remember what my paycheck was, but I think it had a comma in it already at that point. But it wasn't until, like Dan said, that we went to conference that January, and my eyes were opened to how much gold was in my hand and how much I wasn't sharing the awesome opportunity that there was laying there as far as building a team. So when I came back, I started flipping that party pad over, and I really started sharing that this could be an awesome opportunity for people. And I believe, if I remember correctly, about 8 people joined that February after I got back end of January. And from there on, it literally has snowballed, and it has been an awesome, just steamrolling ahead as far as just great momentum, and people are really catching vision, and they understand what this is for both our health and for our finances. And it's really been an awesome, God has truly blessed it. There's no question about it. And it's been busy, but it's been fun. It's been really, really fun. And as far as what John and I do together, if you want me to go into that, Katie, a little bit?
Yes, please. Let us know, kind of what a day in the life looks like for you guys. I'm sure people are curious.
Sure.
All right, well, I'll take over and talk a little bit. In a word, I'm going to just start off by saying it's support. The guy when a couple gets married or have a relationship, support is the biggest. It's the biggest thing that they can give each other as far as moving their relationship forward. And I think that's what Liz and I strive to do. One thing that's special, that's different from, say, business partners versus people that are in a relationship and share a business like this together, is that business partners go to work and they talk about their plans together, and whether it's a couple of guys or whatever it is, and you go home, you live your separate lives, and that's it. And what Liz and I have is very special in the sense that we get to share our whole day together. When we start talking about our dreams, it can happen at any time during the day. It can happen laying on the pillow together. It can happen in the office together. It can happen, in the car on our way to go and blitz. And that's the way our day is. We spend our day running things by each other, working together, and just all out supporting each other. And as far as, when does a guy's role start? Well, I was a lot like Catherine's husband, Joel, where getting into the business, I could see very early on, I had been presented a few numbers and stuff from the business, and yes, I am a numbers guy as well. I saw the growth of the company, and we talk about the phrase drinking the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid very, very early on, and I could see that this was just something very special, an opportunity that, comes along once in a century, and we had to be on it. And so, yeah, I mean, I was the guy that was saying to Liz, hey, you got to get to conference. And, Liz was crying when she left here all by herself. She didn't have any team going with her. But I said, you got to go. This is something that's going to change us. And, on the way back, she was crying for a whole different reason, and it was because she got it. And so, those are a few of the special things. I mean, aside from that, I do a lot of the same things of what Dan talked about. I relieve stress around the house. I pick up, I do laundry, I fold, I run kids here and there. And I do all those things, but then I'm also blitzing as I go. I know last week our son broke his arm, and we had to go up to the x-ray clinic. And, hey, when we were up there, I took time to blitz the gal behind the desk. And, I'm going to be having a meeting with her here probably this next week. So never lose an opportunity. Everything always happens for a reason. And the way I looked at that, too, my son broke his arm. I said, hey, you got me in this clinic, which I never would have been here. I never would have had a reason to be here before. But because of that, I got to talk about it works with this nice gal behind the desk. So you just kind of got to roll with life that way and realize that everything is a godsend and happens for a reason. And that's kind of what I do.
And John likes to do, when we try to get a good system down where we, make our calendar out Monday through Friday as to what it looks like, whether it's a will customer email, is that going out? John usually does that. Usually we do a weekly one. It isn't always Wednesday. We like it to be, but it always isn't. I mean, because life is a little bit busy. You have to kind of be flexible with things, but you do have to be consistent, especially with John and I being full-time at this. It is important to make a schedule each day, because otherwise the day can go by and you go, we didn't get anything done because there was just no structure as to what we needed to sit down and make sure we did. So we do find that making a schedule and stuff and making sure we accomplish what we're needing to do, whether it's how many blitzes per day or how many phone calls we're going to make during the day or whatever it might be, whatever it might look like. And he does a lot of the charting calls. He does a lot of the charting. He does all the charting, in fact. He talks with all the people. Right now with the big promotions going on, he does a Thursday night charting call with the team. I try to step out of there, and I'm like, it's his, he does it. So we're trying to incorporate more of him doing the new distributor trainings. That's going to be coming here soon. He's present for all meetings, all calls. He's there, so he knows, like, I literally don't have to be here. He knows what's going on, and that's important. That's key, that your partner there is kind of, even if he's not talking, he's there listening and hearing how it all runs, so that if you need to go somewhere else or need to be present somewhere else, they can still let this thing flow like a well-oiled machine.
I love that. No? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I lost you actually for a little bit. I had hung up and had to call back in. One thing you guys keep talking about is how you go blitzing together, and you don't hear that very often as far as couples going out and doing that. What does that actually look like for you? Do you guys stake out locations? Does it just mean you're running errands and you're just taking advantage of that time? What does that look like for you guys?
Well, a couple of them we did here the other day. We were actually getting gas in the car, and we kind of just, I don't know, it's kind of like a hawk coming in for the kill. You're mapping out the situation. You're going, okay, would this look better at me going over there, you going over there? And we just kind of we try to, in the short amount of time that we have with people, we try to sort of build that relationship with people too. I know yesterday we were in Menards getting our flowers, and we just, you try to really strike up some meaningful conversations with people, even though they're only going to be a couple minutes long.
Yeah.
And, it's just you let people know that you care. And
we always have our A-Works gear on. Both of us always both have our A-Works stuff on. So, you get looks. People are like, who are you guys? What are you
and I just thought of another one here. We were actually in our collision center because we we had just gotten a new car and gotten rear-ended about 15 days into our new vehicle, and so we were in settling the bill for that, and we had both gone in. We had all of our It Works gear on. We were sitting down, and Liz had her greens along in her It Works jug, the clear bottle, and the lady said, what's that? And that immediately opened the door for us to go into what it was. She had her product pamphlet along. She said, oh, by the way, we have all these other great products too. And, it was just it was an amazing, natural way the person, completely opens the door for you by asking the question. And that's the way we really like to have it happen organically. That's the best Blitz. It makes you feel so comfortable, and it's just a way of sharing then.
That's awesome. I really like how you keep, and maybe you don't even realize you're doing it, but you keep pinpointing back to relationships. And you've talked about your relationship as a couple. You've talked about your relationship with your team. Now you're talking about relationships you're building throughout your community, even if it's just 1 and 2 minutes of talking. But what I love about this business and this company is that really is the glue that holds it all together, isn't it? It's all about relationships. It's all about loving people. It's all about caring about people enough that you're willing to share with them that you have something really special. And I love that that's what it all comes back to.
Right. We totally agree. It is a connection business, a relationship business. It is, what does Cammie say? People don't buy products, people buy people. They do.
Yeah.
They want to connect with people. Why do we go back to the same salesperson? Because we have such a good experience with that person. Why do we go to certain places? Because they take really good care of us. And it's the same thing with this type of thing too as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add one more word in there that has to do with relationship and the business, and that's balance. Liz and I, as our business grows and as we grow in our life and our relationship together, we also realize that our balance with each other and all of those other things is something that is constantly changing. But as it all constantly changes, we realize that we have to constantly, even though we're writing out schedules for our business, we have to constantly go back and check the balance in our relationship together, and our family and all that stuff, so that we don't lose sight. We always say a third, and it really rings true that in order to have harmony, you have to have balance, and that's something that we also work on. And we had this last week we were struggling with that a little bit, and we had to sit down. We had to really focus on that a little bit and get ourselves back on board. But I'm just going to throw that out there to all the people that are in a relationship or doing this together, that don't forget about your own relationship with each other, because that is the glue, or that's the building blocks from which you start.
We have a strong relationship, strong team, strong everything. And it definitely is that's probably the juggling act that you do, and you got to remember why you're doing this. Like for us, we always have to ask ourselves, we're doing this so that we can be with each other and with our family, so you have to always remind yourself of that.
I love it. Did we lose Caity? Is she still with us?
No, I'm here. I'm just
good.
Oh my gosh, guys, I love it. I love all of this. I'm taking notes here. I'm trying to, write fast enough. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to this again.
Yeah.
I just want to talk a little bit about the timing of the company. I know Liz and John, you guys kind of know, you've seen the growth of the company. Why do you think it's important for people getting involved, maybe looking at this even as a single person to do it by themselves? Why now?
Oh, we love this one. John does, I know that.
Well, I guess my first question would be, why not? There's so many things in this life. I mean, I think back to the time, in my life when I was maybe just getting out of college, or when I was working through college, or et cetera, and you have all these jobs and opportunities that you could become involved in, and a lot of times we're blinded by our own ambitions. Our that little seed inside of our brain says you can do this, or you can do that, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, and really that's what holds us back, or that's what propels us into the next 10 years or 20 years or whatever it is. But, the one great thing about this business is it almost does seem too good to be true, but it is true. we have something that has just culminated in timing, in product, in people, in social media. All these things have come together to make this the perfect business at the right time. And this thing is a snowball just chugging down the hill. And you can either choose to be a part of something that is growing so fast, so quickly, and is going to become so much more than what it is right now, or you can simply let it go by you, and you can continue to be a snowflake on the hill. And we're just so happy that we were given an opportunity, given the chance to be a part of this. And I can't answer you why some people aren't going to want to be a part of it, but I know why we are, and I know what the Lord has blessed us with so far, and I know that He is blessing so many others through us. And so we're going to just keep chugging along ourselves, and some people are going to say yes, and some are going to say no, but we're just going to say, isn't that interesting? And eventually, even if it's 2 or 3 years down the road, they're going to jump on, and then they're going to be a part of it then. So to each their own on their timing.
Yeah, and they want to be $1 billion brand this year, so that's really, really, really exciting to be a part of that. That means that our team, every team, is going to contribute to that $1 billion brand that we're looking to go into this year. So that's really cool to even think that you could be a part of something so awesome. I'm really excited about that. That motivates me, a lot to think that I can be a part of something like that we take a piece of that and help them become that $1 billion brand, which is really, people like to help, and I like to help, and that is a way that we can help.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's changing our lives and many, many other lives along the way. So, 13-year-old company, I don't know if you want to go on the statistics of it all.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, too, that you guys had mentioned earlier was that you are good bonus achievers, and that good bonus is going away in a couple of days. Did you want to talk about what that looks like for you guys?
Right. Like for us, we're pushing hard. We're really going for John's triple, which would be the $50,000 get out of debt bonus, and then for my presidential, it would be the $75,000.
Yeah, I mean, and first of all, I mean, what does that mean for us? We've I think it's an extra $2,000 a month between the two of us that we're earning right now just because of the good bonuses, and that's going to last for 25 months. We're going to have that. So I mean,
if we earn these two that we're trying to go for here, that'll be definitely more than.
That'd be another.
I don't even know what it is, what the math is on that, but yeah, I mean, we don't really. I mean, the money is an awesome extra, like I say, added bonus blessing. But we do it more just because we like to show people that it can be done. We like to pave the way for people. We like to show that if you put your mind to it, with God's strength, you can do anything. And I think that's why we really do it. We love to lead, and we love to show that it does take some hard work. There's no question about that. But to stretch yourself, to grow when the growing pains are happening, just going beyond what you think you can do. It's neat to see that. So we're just going for it. We're doing the best we can, and wherever God's will is, whatever happens in the end, we'll be joyful no matter what. But we're really excited about that. We had 9 people with all of us together, there were 9 of us that did promote just this last quarter to Diamond and Above on our team, and we're a young team. We're a very young team.
And we had, I think the number was over $135,000 in good bonuses were earned on our team. Like Liz said, with these 9 of us that had earned these good bonuses. So, we're proud of that. Proud that we were able to lead the way, and proud that we were able to change people's lives or help people change their own lives, I should say, in our own business, in our own company, in our own company that we've created for ourselves. So, yeah, we're extremely proud of that.
Yep, God has been good. There's no question about that.
You definitely have a lot to be proud of. That's amazing. And I love, too, that the bonuses, like you said, it's not just about the money. It's about, like, the lives that you can impact. I know so many people are thinking about, quitting their jobs because they're getting paid that extra per month. People are looking at paying off debts that they've had. I love that the company preaches being debt-free. It's not about getting a car that you might have to end up having payments on or things like that. They pay us cash for the bonuses that we get, and you can use it whichever way you choose that fits your lifestyle, and I think that that's really important as well. So I thank you guys so much for everything. I mean, you've shared so much wisdom on this call, and I know a lot of people are probably getting a lot out of it. Just one last thing, I guess, that you want to leave people with as far as a tip, and then we'll get ready to shut this thing down.
Sure. No, we thank you for asking us to be on. What an honor. I would say to strongly open your mind, especially, a lot of people on this call, I'm sure, are ones that are just kind of maybe looking at the business and the company and asking themselves, man, can I do it? I don't know. Will I be successful? My tip is, when we got into this, we had fear like everyone has fear. We didn't know if we were going to be able to do this either. We weren't for sure if we were equipped, if we had the skills, if we had all the things that make up someone who would be successful in a business. But I'll tell you what we did do. We got in, we plugged in, meaning we got ourselves on every call possible, and we still do to this day. We went to the conventions, the corporate events. We picked up personal development books, things like John Maxwell, things like Jim Rohn, just the really awesome GoPro, all those awesome books that make you professional at what you do. So we told ourselves, if we're going to do this, if we're going to spend the $99 and we're going to get a booster kit, then we're going to invest in this business as well, and we're going to invest ourselves and learn something so that we can be the best at this business. And so that's probably my biggest encouragement. And I never said to myself, will we be successful? I just asked myself that, but I said, we're going to make ourselves successful in this business. We are going to hit the grindstone and learn all we can about this business. We never said, well, I hope I can be successful. I hope this business will be good for me. We said we are going to make this business, successful. And that meant us being students, and that meant us digging our noses into whatever that looked like to learn. And we still, I think the biggest thing is if you want to be successful at this business, then you will be a very good student. You will listen to those who have success. You will listen to the corporate people and the top earners of the company, and you will mirror what they do, and you won't try to say, no, it can't be that easy. The success, it just really can't be that easy. I got to find other ways. Well, I'll tell you right now, that's why you will struggle, and I do see that. We do see people who do come in and have their own thought processes of how they think they are going to be successful, instead of saying, nope, the step to success is what we do here. And we'll train you other ways on how to go blitz and how to go do this, and we'll give you encouragement on reading up, on developing yourself. And those are the people who always do well. It's the ones that don't come in with the past preconceived notions of, nope, this is how I'm going to do it. It's the ones that say, tell me what to do. How do I do this? I'm ready. And those people are the ones that really succeed. And that's what we said too. We're not going to hope that this works. We're going to, pray about it and go for it. And has there been struggles? Yep, you better believe it. There has been. Has it been hard? Oh yeah, for sure. Have I learned a lot about myself? A ton. I've grown a ton, and John too. And we wouldn't trade it for the world, because we wouldn't be who we are today without this awesome journey that we've been on. So that's what my tip would be.
I'll end with a little story for a tip.
Oh, great.
It's a short story, so don't worry. So this fellow was walking down the street, and he couldn't help but being his attention drawn up to a porch, a house with a few people sitting on it, and there was also a little hound dog sitting on that porch, and he was kind of groaning and moaning a little bit, and the passerby said to the owner, he says, well, why is that dog moaning? And the owner says, well, he's laying on a nail. And the passerby says, why don't he move? And the owner says, doesn't hurt him enough. So I'm going to leave you with that. Liz and I were truly ready for change. We were sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I say that with all respect to anybody that's in a job that they work hard and toil for. But, we recognized that this was truly an opportunity. We said, you know what? Let's quit complaining about our situation. Let's, we were probably near, could have been on government assistance, but just chose not to take it because I said I didn't want it. And, we were tired of being in that situation, tired of being in the same old situation at tax time, getting a bunch of money back, knowing that we weren't making any money during the year. And we were ready for change. And so when Liz said we hit the ground with ambition and that was truly the way we did it. We were truly ready for change. We were truly ready to get off that nail, quit moaning about our situation, and make some change. And so the wonderful thing is you have, if you're considering this, if you're on this call considering doing this, you have a wonderful, wonderful upline, sideline, downline. Everybody that's in this business just cares immensely about their own success, but also about yours, because we always say better together, and together we move up in this business, not one by one. It's a multi-level marketing business. It's together that we do this. So you are, I'm going to say insured success, but I mean that success also depends on you. You step, we step type of thing. So, yeah, thanks so much, Caity, for having us on. I hope that we were able to help out, and we really appreciate you asking us to be on the call.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the time out. Thank you for all your wisdom. Just one last thing is, if you're looking at this as a business, I want you to get back with the person that got you on this call. I want you to talk to them. We have a very simple 3-step system of getting started, and that's how we run our businesses. So if you're thinking of getting started, just reach back out to that person. They'll go over everything that you need to know, and we hope that you can join us next week. We have the same times call every Saturday morning. So I thank you guys for taking the time out and waking up with an alarm this morning to join us. Catherine, too, for getting on the call. I know you're out in Pennsylvania this weekend spending time with your family, so I really appreciate you taking the time out as well.
Yes, absolutely. Hope you have a fantastic, wonderful weekend.
Have an awesome weekend. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Nice to
Bye.
meet you, Catherine. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.